All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday, and welcome back to Edgemont. In today's video, waiting for Ngozi to log in, but I just want to get started for the interest of time. In today's video, we will be discussing 5 places you should never go on a first date. Okay. So, for anyone who's been paying attention to what's going on in social media for the past few weeks, there was this video that went viral. Sorry. I personally think I don't really think it was real. I've only watched the video once, to be honest, and to me, it didn't look real. But anyway, I digress. That's off topic. There was a video of a woman who was taken to the Cheesecake Factory and she recorded it. And basically, she was very upset that this guy had taken her to the Cheesecake Factory. So, this incident went viral and has sparked a lot of conversation around suitable places that a woman should expect to go on a first date. There's all these lists that's come out. We're going to talk about that today, and I feel like with the list, they are very interesting. However, I do think there should be like an age difference for the list. I know it sounds a bit biased, but I do think some of the lists are more catered to like some things that people deem unacceptable. I think are more okay. Like if you're younger, you're in college, you're not in your career. I think the expectation should be different versus dating your 30s and dating someone who is financially stable and has themselves together. Just my opinion. Again, we'll talk about that later in this live. So we just wanted to talk about this topic while it's still trending. Different type of lists keep coming out of places you should not ever take a woman on for a first date. And even while I was in church yesterday, this was brought up during the sermon. Okay. And the main issue, hi everyone that's joining. Thank you very much for joining. Don't forget to like this video, like this video. It's going to be a very juicy topic today, a very juicy live. I know you guys are definitely going to like it. And I think what I want to preface this live with is that I feel like the media and society is equating women wanting a man to put in effort to women wanting a man to spend so much money on them. And it's not true. I don't think the issue is the money per se. Yes, like I mentioned, I do think that when you're a woman of a certain age, you're mature, you're grown, you do have a different expectation, and maybe like you should have a different expectation, like maybe an 18 or 19-year-old girl in college, right? But I think people are conflating effort with money. And they can go together, but it's not always the case. Someone that's low effort is low effort. Someone can have a lot of money and still be a very, very, very low effort person and just not care for dating, not want to take anyone out, just invite you to their house. They don't necessarily have to be financially unstable to be low effort. So that's the only thing I want to clarify when I've been hearing so many things like, oh, well, you know, me and well, I never did this and I'm married 10 years, or, oh, blah, 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 or, well, you girls just want this. And it's like, a woman can tell a man really, really still cares about her and likes her, even if he doesn't have a lot of money. A man can be high effort and not have a lot of money. I think that's the confusion with this conversation. Like, you don't need to make 6 figures to put in effort and take a woman out. At least I don't believe so. So again, we're going to start off this topic. I know Ngozi just joined, and I was just going over what has happened in the last few weeks and what has sparked all of this conversation around first dates. Okay, so 5 places you should never go on a first date. I'm going to start off. In my opinion, 5 places I would never go for a first date. Number one is a man's house. Okay. I don't advise, and I personally would never. And even if we mention some of these things, doesn't mean we've never done it before. But at this point in my life, a man that's telling me to come to his house for the first time as a date, he's not serious about me. He's not serious about me. I'm not saying him, and I think this is the issue some of us have. I'm not saying he doesn't like me. That's the difference. He can like me, but he's not serious about me if he's invited me to his house on a first date. No, that's unacceptable. I don't care. I do not care. Even if you are don't have any money at all, don't invite me to your house for a first date. Second place on my list, I will never go for first date is the nightclub. I just don't think that is appropriate setting. I think it's very loud. I don't think you could really talk and get to know someone. And I think it's a lot of low effort men do this because the way I look at it is okay, you invited me to your section with your boys, right? You already got a table. Y'all already spend the money. You didn't do anything. You didn't go out your way for me. You taking me to Starbucks, honestly, is more effort than you inviting me to the nightclub, even if you spend thousands of dollars. You know
Much
why?
them drink. You know how much them drinks are in that section? Girls is bringing a group of 10 friends, happy to be in the sections.
No, you know why? You know why you know why I think that you take me to Starbucks is more effort than a section, even if you spend thousands. Is that you were gonna spend that money without me anyway. That you going to the club or you inviting me to a section has nothing to do with me. You didn't go there to celebrate anything concerning me. You didn't go there because it's my birthday. You didn't go there because it's not like unless I told you I want to go there, that's different. But I'm talking about the whole like, oh, come to my section, that new culture that's come out these days. To me, it's like a low effort date. And no, second of all, for a first date, I don't need all your friends to even know who I am. Why? I don't need to be in that environment. I don't know. Like, what if me, you never even go anywhere? Like, why does everyone that knows you need to see you with me? That's also, I'm thinking about that in my head. Yes, I may be extra, but I'm thinking about that. So I will not go to the club with anyone for a first date. Three, movie night. I think this is extremely low effort just because it also involves you either being at my house or me going to. So for that reason, I wouldn't do a movie night. And I'm not really a big movie person, period. But if we want to watch a movie, let's go to the movies. Number four, the gym. For some reason, I just don't see this as a first date. I mean, maybe eventually if we're together and we want to work out together, that's different. But as a first date, I don't see how the gym would be a date. I think that's kind of weird. And number five on the list I was seeing was family functions. I will definitely not go into going with anyone to a family function on a first date. I feel like it's a bit too intimate. It's almost similar to what I referenced to with the nightclub. Like, why would I want to be see why do I want to meet your family? Why do I want to be around people you're close to on the first date? I don't even know if this is going to go anywhere. I don't even know what we're doing. I think it's a bit odd. And again, it's low effort because you already had the family function. You're just inviting me. You didn't have to go out your way to do anything. You just invited me to an event that's already planned. All right.
You
So
run,
again, I like this video.
you run through your five again?
My five is a man's house, the
Mm-hmm.
nightclub, movie
Mm-hmm.
night, the gym, and family functions. Those are five of the places on the list that I saw. Let's actually go through the list.
All right.
So
All
this
right.
there's so many different lists, but this one was a group of women on Facebook created a list of places men should not take a woman to on a first date. Number one, Cheesecake Factory, trolling. I don't understand. This is just trolling, but Cheesecake Factory,
I want to share.
Applebee's, Chili's, Chipotle, Olive Garden, the movies, your house, any fast food chain, Buffalo Wild Wings, Wingstop, Red Lobster, IHOP, a buffet, Denny's, the gym, church, Starbucks, coffee dates, ice cream dates, family functions, movie night, somewhere that requires a long drive, bowling, nightclubs, hookah bar, a bar just for drinks, Waffle House, and sports event. Okay.
I'm gonna pull up the list and share when we start taking calls after we do our introduction. But yeah, it made Fox News, y'all. It made the news. That's why we're like we got to talk about this because if the news is talking about this list that people have compiled on social media, then this is really getting somewhere. But make sure you guys like this video. I was just sharing it, trying to get people in here. But I'm going to go through my list. Ours is similar, just one difference. So number one is house, and that's the girl or the guy. Period. Some women, I don't know, they maybe back in the day it was a thing, invite a guy over, maybe cook for him. No. Guy, some same guys use the MO because people use the whole MO like I'm gonna cook for you. I even saw that some of the comments. My boyfriend cooked a meal from the guy I was dating, our first date, he cooked a meal for me and it was so nice, blah, blah, blah. Yes. We were in 2023. The world is very different now. Maybe that was something people did back in the day with somebody you went to church with that you knew somehow that was a part of your community. But people are meeting people off the street online.
Right.
That's not somebody about to be having in your house first date, period. I don't care what you're telling me. I don't care what excuse you're giving to me. There's no house visits for first date. None. I don't care if they're cooking for you. I don't care if you're cooking. No house dates. And that to me, house dates, I include the movie night. Because to
Yeah.
me, that talk about movie night that's coming to your house. That's why ours is a little different. I have like an extra one. So I put like movie night or part of the house call, whatever, house dates. I don't like that. Number two is club/party. Like I said, the whole section thing, people will be shocked, but it's a thing because let's be real, a lot of guys they want to be at the club anyway. It's a way of you guys spending time with each other. Some of these guys want to flex, they want to show you off, they want you in a section so they can kind of be territorial, claim their territory. No, it's not a good look. It's not intentional. To me, that's given very like I don't like it. I don't like it. And I got that. And it's common. It's shocked. People think like, oh, the club, yes. And it's the way they do it. It's not like, oh, we're about to go to the club tonight at 8 p.m. You get ready and they tell you a week before. It's like, oh, what you doing? Come stop by. You know what I mean? Like for your first proper date. No, that's not acceptable. Number three, I put family function. Okay. And people would think, okay, what do you mean by family function? It don't necessarily have to be his father, his mother, his brother. It could be maybe his cousins having a birthday party, his niece is having graduating, they're having a barbecue. It doesn't have to be like people think family function like a wedding per se. No, it could be something casual, but it's just a convenient way for them to invite you to something that's already planned. They don't have to spend money. That's low effort to me. That's not something someone you're really trying to get to know. That's you're not inviting them to those type of events first date. No. Number four is church. Okay, some people think that this is okay. I don't know. I feel like church is something that's very like, especially depending on the type of church you go to. If you're an everyday church goer, if they go to church, you don't want to be seen out with somebody at church for someone you just met first date. You don't know how long this is gonna last. Like I give example, I go to African church. Like there's no way I would follow a man to an African church, period, unless literally we're engaged. Literally, there's no way. You couldn't pay me enough that I'll take my two legs and go and follow you to church. Is God only in your church? No, God is in my church. I'm fine. Like, what does that mean? Like, what are you trying to like? I don't get it. Like, is it supposed to be like spiritual? Is it supposed to be like a bonding experience? I don't really understand. Church is a no. Church is a no, 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 no. The number five, of course, the gym. I work out. I always run in a little late to these lives because of working out. So I'm all about the gym. I'm all about fitness. I'm all about working out. But that's not a date. Okay, that's not a date. That's not like we're not about to be breathing heavy. What are we talking about? We're sweating, we're breathing heavy. To me, even a walk is better. I would even consider that one a bit better. Like we go on a walk because I personally like to walk. Okay, we go on a walk. The park's a nice day in the park. Circle around, just talk out. That's different. But to go to the proper gym, like what are we going to be doing at the gym? Sweating and wearing athletic wear. It's kind of even sexual. Like it's not appropriate. It's not appropriate. Those are my top five places you should never go on a first date: the house, the club, family functions, church, and the gym. To
Okay, so
start,
I have some honorable mentions, right? Because five was, and like I said earlier, thank everyone for joining this live. Don't forget to like this video. I do think this list needs an age range. In my personal opinion, because I do feel like some of the things on the list, they're cute if you're in college. You're just starting your career. You're 18, 19. But some of this stuff, at the point I am in my life, like it's a bit. It still can give off low effort. And to me, low effort, I keep saying, does not equal money, right? A low effort man could still take you to Steak 48. A low effort man could take you to Roof Chris. A low effort man can take you to STK, right? Like it doesn't mean that he's high effort because he spends a lot of money, right? But there can be sometimes a correlation. I'm not gonna lie, there can be a correlation. And I understand that people are dating multiple people. People are talking to a lot of people. Some people are just meeting a bunch of people online. Right now, if I don't care for online, but let's say I could see someone being online and just want to touch base with these people that they just chatting up with. Just, oh, let's meet at a coffee shop. Meet at a coffee shop and just have a quick conversation. Do you get what I'm saying? Let's just talk real quick and like let's just see if there's even a vibe. Like let's just see if we even have anything, there's any type of connection. I can get that to an extent. But the honorable mentions for me on this list, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna be honest. The couple that are honorable mention, a bar just for drinks. Just because I'm not really a big drinker. So I would just be getting ready just to kind of go to the bar with you just to go, like maybe get a mocktail. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, but it's still kind of like, it's not my favorite. and any fast food chain. Like at this point in my life, a guy can't take me to McDonald's and say that's our first date.
Is it because you don't eat it, or is it because it's cheap? Like, what's the rationale?
It's,
Because how
it's
about if you're someone who eats McDonald's on a daily basis? Is that person, is it valid for them to say they can't go on a first date at McDonald's when they eat that type of food?
to me, like mind you, people are coming for Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake Factory, I'm down. Like I don't know, Cheesecake Factory is even kind of bougie, a bougie chain restaurant, right? I'm down for Cheesecake
And people
Factory.
keep saying chain. We have to specify, like, Steak 48 is a chain, STK is a chain, Eddie V's is a chain. So when we say chain, let's remember what we're really trying to say. Because if you're cutting off chain restaurants, that's different than you just saying you don't want to go to like a cheap restaurant.
Right.
So that's very different. But continue what you're saying.
No, I think looking at this fast food channel, you gotta say, oh yeah, no, no, let's meet up at Burger King to grab something to eat. To me, it's like at my age, I just feel like that to me that's low effort. Like to me, that's too like because we can go to and like it's not just the money, but it's also just like we can go to Thai restaurant and spend $40 together. Like you really, I think sometimes a lot of men maybe they don't go out to eat like that, so they kind of think that going out costs more than it really does. Sometimes I wonder if that's the case because a lot of girls you'll see on Instagram with their friends, they're always like going to restaurants, going to brunch. Like we're
Going
the
to
ones that
places.
yeah. So I'm thinking like maybe men have in their mind that these restaurants are like so extraordinary expensive, but they're really not. You can go to a nice restaurant and spend $20 each. Like we can go to Hawkers down the street and spend $20 each, and it's a cute Thai fusion, Asian fusion restaurant. So for me personally, the fast food chain to me that's just besides the fact I don't eat it, maybe that's why I'm very biased too, because I personally don't go out my way to eat fast food chain. Like it, I just don't eat that food. But to me, it's just a bit low effort. And like I mentioned, I had posted a picture on community today talking about this topic, and I posted about how like a few weeks ago I had went to a winery and it was such a great experience. I went with my friend. We paid $32 each to go to this winery. And to me, that would be a great first date, like a great first date experience. It costs $32 each. So
So that
you
we
don't
make the point, like Haven mentioned, it's not about cost. It's not about money necessarily. Be thoughtful. Some most memorable dates were inexpensive, so it's really about thinking farther and putting in the effort, right? And we have to let's spin this. We need guys to enter this chat too because we want to look at it from a male perspective. But real quick, I want us to just go through this list quickly for people that have not seen the list. This is Fox 59. I'm telling you, it made news. This list. Number one, of course, they being snarky.
that's the same list I just read, right?
Yes, that's the same list.
Mhm.
Cheesecake Factory's number one. Number two is Applebee's. We got Chili's, we got Chipotle, we got Olive Garden, we got the movies, your house, any fast food chain, Buffalo Wild Wings, Wingstop, Red Lobster, a buffet, IHOP, Denny's, the gym, church, Starbucks, coffee dates, ice cream dates, family functions, movie nights, somewhere that requires a long drive, bowling. This one shocked a lot of people. This number 23,
I think
bowling.
that's actually kind of cute.
Nightclubs, hookah bar, a bar just for drinks, Waffle House, and sporting events. All right. While restaurants are popular at locations, choosing the perfect stop spots can be tough and perhaps even controversial, considering the list above. If you want to impress your date at a charming eatery, Yelp released a list of the most romantic restaurants in each state earlier this year, none of which are part of a major national chain. The list can be found here. Look at them plugging Yelp. But basically, I want y'all to see this list for people that haven't seen it. Basically, it lists like a lot of like lower end chains, and I do agree with some of them. It's the restaurant list to me that is just a little confusing. The restaurants that are listed. And like I said, is it the price or is it because it's quote unquote considered to be lower end for stuff? And like it's all relative, right? Because for somebody going out to eat, period, this be a big deal. Some people don't go out to eat. They really don't. If they're buying food, they're picking up fast food, they don't go out to eat. So to them, going to Red Lobster is a celebration. That's, graduation, that's birthday, like that's a big deal for them. So I really think it's relative. But it's yeah, let me stop sharing this so we can see our full screens. Yeah, but it was a lot. Like I said, I think they're trolling. They're trying to be funny because they put Cheesecake Factory as number one. right? And this is all following after, the whole Cheesecake Factory ladies issue that went viral, blah blah blah. So I put in the chat, where would you never go on a first date? I want you to answer real quick. We're going to start taking calls like in 10 or so minutes. But before we start that, I'm going to go through some of the comments. Going to the gym is crazy. Trying to release my endorphins for free. Bye. And I said, I like Cheesecake Factory. Avocado egg rolls? Cheesecake Factory? Oh my God. When their avocado egg rolls and that like the green sauce they have with it. My gosh. And then the cheesecake. Yeah, cheesecake. It's not even about what's expensive, it's about the path of least resistance. If he can get close to you without traveling far or expending effort, then that's his MO. Yes. Yeah, that's the motive, right? So, and like we said, we understand. We have to think. Let's turn this around. We need guys to enter this. Everyone, please like this, share this video. I was thinking about this yesterday, thinking about the topic, and I said, okay, imagine if I were a guy, right? And dating a woman meant me having to, spend money. I think there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that interplay that are going on right now. Number one, if you want to be honest, if you really don't have it like that, you really shouldn't be dating multiple people. If anything, even probably even dating. If you really want to have an honest conversation, you should
Well,
not be dating multiple
I don't
people.
necessarily believe that. You know why? I would rephrase your question to, you should expect certain expectations from certain caliber of women.
And that's I'm getting there, but I'm saying just starting from the basics. If you really are so, because I understand, like it's not cheap. You're going out and going to a decent place. Like I said, budgeting. If you're going to sit down at a decent restaurant, like okay, like a regular, like even Cheesecake Factory, two people can you're gonna run over 100. If you're eating normal, like let's be real, like it's tax tip is 20% automatic post pandemic. They add that 20% to your check, so that's $80 of food. You already hitting $100. Okay, about $85 of food, you're hitting 100. Like it adds up if you're dating multiple people. That's why I'm making the emphasis. Dating multiple people should not be a thing. If you're really someone that's not really trying to put out money, like period. If you're serious, okay. The number two, like I mentioned, you assess maybe the type of people you're dating, right? Everyone is different. There's people who are okay with the walk in the park. People are okay with the coffee date. People are okay with the basics. I was talking to my cousin yesterday. I was telling me personally, I'm not really about meeting somebody and then trying to run on a date the next day or 2, 3 days a week. I don't like it. To me, it's a waste of my time. I don't care if you take me to Steak 48. If I know I'm not going to like you and it's not going to go anywhere, you're wasting my time. That's me personally. But everyone is different. I respect that. So I think that we just have to be real with ourselves, men and women. And I think it's very easy and convenient to blame other people. But I said, if I was a man, I'd be real. I know how I am. I would not be here taking chicks out, multiple chicks, spending 2, 3. I would not be doing it. Me, I will not be doing it. I will not. So I'm not necessarily saying that going for like everybody's making a point of least resistance. Can we really necessarily say that's a bad thing? I think that's human nature. Because for the most part, people are going to test you, especially men. They're going to see where they can go and what you're going to allow. Human beings, it's not even a man thing. We're just speaking in the context of dating because that's the topic of the show, right? But it's a human thing. So at the same time, are we necessarily blaming them for going for the path of least resistance? Are we blaming the women who accept that path? Where are okay with it? Some, like I said, some people are truly okay with it. Mr. E said Ruby Tuesdays on Tuesdays and TGF on Fridays. I never understand inviting a whole ass stranger to your home. How do you know I'm not the killer? Must be the Y chromosome active. Men take risks. I'm telling you. I have male friends and the things they'll be telling me, I'll be like, how do you know this girl's not gonna come and like break into your house the next day after you played her and she knows where you live? I don't feel like men reason the way women do. Like they don't have to, they operate in the world very differently. We have to be more scared, paranoid. We're women. You watch the news, see things happening. But a lot of men, they be taking risks. The issue with the list is that it makes a sweeping generalization. Haven, can you expand? Right now in society, people are used to instant gratification with little to no effort. So what are you saying what is the sweeping generalization? Is it in terms of the type of restaurants they're listing? Is it them saying fast food chain? Can you elaborate? I agree. Can what do you agree with? If Masters is across the street from him and that's our first day and I have to drive across town, that is low effort. Wow.
I don't know, you got me with this one. I don't know. Like we see
Oh my God. You're
plan.
making the point that Haven made earlier is not just about cost. And then I had open talking about it. A lot of men, they're quick to think because they're not spending a lot, that that's what makes it low effort. No, it's the planning process. It's the, like, ask the question, what do you like to eat? Oh, you like Italian? Oh, I know this Italian restaurant that just opened up. It's more than just picking an expensive place. Okay. It's deeper than that. And I don't think that any reasonable woman, the average woman, is not expecting her first date to be at Steak 48. That's me personally. Like, from the women I know, the women I'm around, I don't think that women are walking around saying, "Oh, I expect him to take me to first, take me to," like, no. Not to say that there's women that don't get that, and there's not men who do that. There are, but I don't think that that is like the average woman is expecting to go and spend $200, $300 on her first date with a guy she barely knows.
Right.
No.
And I think also the narrative that when our pastor talked about yesterday at church about like, oh, it's that man that wants to meet you at the coffee shop might be the man that, he's trying to budget for the future so y'all can have this. And I get it to an extent, but I still think the conversation gets annoying because you're assuming that because someone is being low effort, they're a good man. And you're assuming that because someone spends a lot of money, they're a bad man. And I feel like where are we getting this? Where does this narrative come from? Like, just because a guy is low effort and he doesn't want to spend money doesn't mean he's going to marry you, right? It doesn't mean that he really likes you. It doesn't mean that he's saving money for your future home. Like, where are we inferring? Yeah, where are we inferring all of this from? And just because a guy spends a lot of money on you doesn't necessarily mean he's a womanizer. Doesn't mean that he doesn't care about you. Doesn't mean that he's I don't know. I just feel like this is narrative sometimes, like for women to like kind of to humble women. And I feel like I'm very reasonable. I think most women are very reasonable, but like someone can like you and also put in effort, right?
Right.
And some yeah,
Mhm.
like someone could spend money and like you, and someone could not spend money and not like. I don't know. I just feel like there's this narrative that because a guy doesn't have a lot of money to spend, he's a good man. And the men that have a lot of money to spend are bad men who just want to. All these men, at least from my experience, I've dealt with a
They
lot of
want
low
the
effort men.
same thing.
They
They
all
want
want
the
the
same.
same thing.
They
I've
want the
never
same.
met a low effort guy to say, you know what, no, even though I'm low effort and I don't want to do this, I don't want to take you out, let's read the Bible together. Or,
Right.
oh, you know what I
Let's
mean?
play together. Right.
Or, oh, you know what? Like no, like they still want to touch me, even if
Mhm.
they're low effort, they don't want to take me out. Same with a guy that's spending more money want to touch me. You get what I'm saying? So like, where is this narrative coming from that because a guy is not spending money, he is a great man that's saving that money for your future house? Like I just don't understand that, and I get it. I can imagine it being challenging for some men who are not financially stable. But again, it goes to the point that Ngozi spoke earlier is that, sometimes we in this generation, people are dating too much. Like if you don't have the funds, the time, their energy to invest in multiple people, then maybe you can try to talking to one person
One
at
at
a
a
time.
time. And like I said, date someone who's reasonable. I feel like the issue too, talked about this before. I say my issue with people, okay, some people may not be that reasonable, right? Some people may have certain standards. We said everything, life is relative. I've seen girls who accept the bare minimum and it still doesn't get them anywhere. And I
Okay.
see girls who their standard is here and they get there and it works for them. So at the same time, I think it's dangerous. I think the narrative and why a lot of specifically black women got offended or get offended or doing stuff snarky, putting Cheesecake Factory at number one on the list is that I think it's specifically when it comes to black women, whenever black women have some form of standard, it's like we're so quick to be shamed.
Mm.
It's like, why should you expect this? Why should you not expect that? Why should you expect this? And like I said, some are not reasonable, yes. Some are on the extreme, yes. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like it's my place to tell somebody that like they shouldn't want what they want. If I'm the man and the woman, if I look at this, if I'm a guy and I meet a girl and she's telling me she wants to go to Steak 48 on her first date, right? And I'm not about that life. It's not my place to humble her. It's my place to not date her. I know that that's not I'm a type of woman because I don't like women that move like that, and I move on and I let the other people who want to do it. But I think I don't like the idea of telling someone, like, making people feel as if like you shouldn't want this or like you shouldn't like it's almost like I think it's especially when it comes to black women. I think that people get a field day at humbling black, like making them feel as if like they're delusional. Some are, yes, but like I said, they feel as if like even when they're not really asking for much, even when they're asking for like
Right.
really basic
Bare
trivial,
minimum.
the bare minimum. You know what I mean? I feel like that's why we have to be balanced. We have to be nuanced. Okay, we have to be nuanced. Like I said, I don't think the average girl is expected to go to a 5-star restaurant on her first date. I don't think so at all.
No, not at all. Jared said that, not being funny, but he said, but now 5-star restaurants on the first day is wild unless you got it like that. Yes, I agree with that. I
Like I
agree
said,
with that.
on that lifestyle, Jeff, like right now, if you go and date a certain caliber of woman, if you go on Instagram and you know, like we made this, I think Jared, you were the one in that conversation before. I don't know if it was you or I'm confusing you. No, we remember all the guys, but a lot of guys will complain, oh, the women are this, women are that, but that's the type of women you are attracted to and you like. So at the same time, you also have to rethink why. You have to also take accountability. Don't try and talk to those type of girls. It's not you. You're not going to meet a girl who gets flown out every month, who is into this lifestyle, who wears Chanel, who wears this, who wears that, and then you're getting mad at her because she expects her first date to be a 5-star restaurant. That's her lifestyle. If you don't care for that, don't date the type of girl. I think it has to go both ways. Like I said, the average woman is not expecting that. I don't need to see any statistic. I don't need to see any book. I don't need to see any numbers. I know I'm living in the real world. They're not. But you have to be realistic and you have to be, I think a lot of men too, it's like they try and pull up and drink and bring some women down. Because I don't know whether it's some just to make themselves feel better, their ego. No, if you know that's not on your level, leave her alone. It goes both ways, men and women. It's not just a man thing. There's men that I'm not on their level, and I'm not going to sit there and try and bring them to my level to make myself feel better or to stroke my ego. No, it is when some men want a certain type of woman. I don't fit that criteria. I don't date them. I don't entertain them because it's not. I'm not for them. They're not for me. You move on. So let's I've missed some comments. Thank you, Haven. Thank you. We about to take calls soon because this time I hit up Nana. I said like Nana, we gotta talk about this because this thing been trending for weeks. Then when I saw it hit the news, when I saw it hit the news, I said this topic has to be discussed. But Wendy, you said you can date within your budget. Picnics, open mics, free live music events are options. There are so many great events that are pocket friendly on Eventbrite. The lack of effort is the issue. Exactly. It's deeper than the money. That's the point I'm saying. Like people want to just make it feel like it's a money thing, but it's the effort part. A lot of men in this day and age, just be real. Men come and defend your brothers. They're low effort. I'm telling you, we're the women here. We're talking. They are, and I don't think they even realize that they're so low effort. And I don't know. Like I said, is it that women are too accessible? Is it that they're dating too many women? Is it that I think the online culture too encourages it a lot? A lot of you're meeting all these virtual people. You don't really know them. Oh, let's just meet up, coffee, tea, this one, that one. And I get it. You're meeting basically total strangers. You don't want to be pulling out money for all these girls that you barely know. But I feel as if a lot of men don't want to accept the fact that they are a bit low effort. And it's not that it's not just about money. It's deeper than just spending money. It's about putting in the time, the effort, and being intentional. He said, I agree with the Tune in the Black wholeheartedly. Thank you. Meaning first dates are highly individualized, yet the list is one size fits all in its generalizations. Okay, I get it. So we talked about places you shouldn't go on a first date. I made a list of a few places I think would be great for a first date, and I'm going to get into my list. Let me just finish going through the comments. Jared said, "I just got here, but for a first date, I'm not going all out because if I don't even like you, that's the point of dating. Once we're locked in, then you can have steak for the but first date, Applebee's we go." Okay, Jared, so let's give an example, right? Because we talked about in terms of we said most women are not expecting 5-star restaurants first date. But let's give an example, Jared. Let's say you try and date me. Okay, you talk about Applebee's. For me, the issue with Applebee's is not the price. Because to me, these places are not even cheap anymore. Like
Right.
legit. I can take you to Thai and it's gonna be cheaper than Applebee's.
It's gonna be
I can
nicer.
take you to Japanese. I could take you to Asian be hitting with the price points. I could take you to one of those places. It's gonna be cheaper than that Applebee's. The issue that I don't eat that type of food. It's salty, it's processed. I don't eat that type of food. Like literally, I ate that when I was younger because I didn't know any better, and like that was like fun. Like, oh, let's go to Fridays, let's go to Applebee's. It was like happy hour, and other friends would go there and catch up. It was fun and it was cool. So, for example, Jared, if you're dating a girl that don't eat that type of food, it's not necessarily. It's not necessarily. I feel like the point I'm trying to make is that it's not necessarily about the money. That's the point I'm trying to make when I'm saying, for example, why I wouldn't go to somewhere like Applebee's because I don't eat that type of food. I just really don't. You're not going to find that type of food in my fridge. You're not going to find it in my freezer. You're not going to find it in my pantry. I don't eat like that. So of course, the girl who has the Kraft mac and cheese and she's saying she can't go to Applebee's, that's a little discern. That's a little questionable. But feel like people need to understand people have their reasons besides just money. It's not always because, oh, it's money, 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 money. No. Like there's other reasons. People have their preferences. Yeah, you said we read that just being funny, blah blah blah. Okay, little Ernest. Before I decide to take a female on a date, I have to actually like her as a person to sit across the table from her and converse. Yes, I mentioned this. Me personally, I don't really care for the I meet you, hi, what's your name? We talk one time. Oh, you want to go on a date? I don't like that. I want to go before I go on date. I'm wearing makeup. I'm looking, putting outfit. I'm spraying perfume. I'm getting in my car. I'm driving. It's energy. I don't want to go on a date with someone I don't like. Or I don't see anything coming out of this.
You don't want free food.
Yeah, I'm not hungry. I'm not starving. As much I love food. I can wear rags. I love food. I am a foodie. I love food. But to me personally, I'm telling me, it's to me is a waste of my time. So I feel like I'm bringing up you a little, Ernest, because you're saying this, but I do feel like there are some guys who rush the whole let's go on a date, let's go on a date, let's meet up. Like I said, I keep emphasizing this online culture because I feel as if this on meeting people online because it's not necessarily organic. I see that there's a trend more of like to meet up and like do stuff like quicker versus like if you met someone in the real world. For me personally, before I even want to go on a date with someone, I want to talk to you, have conversations, know where your mind is at, know how you think, see if we're even compatible. Like I don't want the first date for me to be learning that you're misogynistic, or the first day for me to be learning that you have like you know what I mean. Like I don't want to be learning basic things about you on the first date. Like I want that to me to know that beforehand, so I already know like this is someone I could actually see, actually consider. That's me. I can't speak for all women. I know some people don't look at dates as that big of a deal. It's just let's go have fun. Like I said, I've done it, but where I am in my life right now, I'm not really crazy about it. Haven said online culture is a major driver of the low effort, no effort situation. Yes, it makes women way more accessible, which drives down their value. Yes, I'm telling you, I've noticed that. Like I feel as if when I haven't been online in 3 years, so I'm not nothing wrong with online. I understand that's why people are meeting people, but I say that my biggest issue I don't like online is the low effort. I really feel like people are just using it, men, to scroll through, pick hi, good morning, hi. I don't have the time for it. But I do think that because you're meeting all these people and people are so accessible, it makes men more low effort because it's just like, okay, I can just hit up four girls. What you doing? What you doing? You want to come to my section? You want to go hookah with my boys? You want to go to my boy birthday party? You want to go like it just makes people too familiar and makes people too accessible.
Does his boy birthday party count as a family function?
That's family. His boy, that's his family. And then it's not about why okay. It's not about going all out. I love art and there's a new art exhibit. Then that would be a memorable day for me. Museum. That's on my list. One of the places to go to. Let me go through my list real quick before we start taking calls. Make sure you guys like this video, share, like this video. I've named a few places for first date. Number one, I put restaurant, and I put next to it a chill restaurant, right? So, like, I can speak from personal experience. This is me personally. I've seen it from both different ends. To me, a guy who's even first date, unless it's really, really in his capacity, and he's saying, "Oh, let's go to Steak 48," it's kind of like I won't say red flag. I don't want to start. I know people use that word a little too loosely, but to me, I personally feel like he's kind of like overcompensating in some way. That's me. And like I said, unless he's really on that level and that's his lifestyle, that's different. That's fine. I won't look at it a big deal.
But how
But
would you know that if it's your first date? How do you know his lifestyle? How do you know what is on his?
I'm saying that's how you talk to people, right? I don't expect my first date to be, I don't know this person I'm going on a date with. Like it's literally a legit strange, but he's telling me stuff, the way he lives his life, blah, blah, blah. I'm able to infer some things to an extent. I feel as if period, it should be somewhere more chill. Because like I said, this is why I'm bringing this up. I've had some guys like try like, let's just go on a date. No, don't worry about anything. Don't worry about money, blah, blah, blah. And they'll say this in the beginning. But I do believe that's how we also have to bring up first date etiquette. We're going to get into that because we talk about restaurants. It's first date etiquette and how you order. I do feel as if a lot of guys will say just come, whatever, they don't care. But low key, isn't when they're taking you out, they're investing in you. Okay. And it kind of becomes like some type of expectation. So the example I'm making is that if I curve a guy who took me on a 40-day, if I not just say curve, if after a $40 tie day, I say, I don't think this is gonna work, but you're such a great guy, I know your girl is out there, we could just be friends, cool. Versus I send that text after a $400 date. Let's be real. Let's be real at the response and the expectation. Let's just say on average, like I said, I'm not saying the $400 day is from a baller, it's not from someone oil and gas, big money, blah blah blah. No, I'm saying it's from an everyday guy who's just trying to do, the best he can. You cannot tell me the expectation and the response is not gonna be different. On it will. And I don't want to go into something feels if someone feels like they're entitled to me in any type of way, or they have some like expectations or like some um what's what I'm looking for, like they expectations because they took me out to somewhere nice. That's me personally why I even prefer let's go somewhere chill. Let's go somewhere chill. I don't want all the fancy glitz and glam. Like first, we're gonna get there. Maybe third date, yeah, we're gonna get there. But for first date, I don't think all that is necessary. That's me personally. So the chains, like you said, unless you're someone who don't eat that type of food, I don't see anything wrong with a chain restaurant as your first date. Like we mentioned, steak for days, chain restaurant. When people say chain, they need to really specify what they mean. Fast food is different, right? Fast food, you talk about McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. I can understand that more. Like, come on now, we're not about to go sit in Wendy's as grown ass women. Like, if you're in high school, college, that's different. But you're not taking me to Wendy's. Let's be real. Let's keep it a buck. We're not going there. Okay. So like I mentioned, BYOB spots. I remember living in Jersey. A lot of like smaller independent restaurants, they're BYOB, right? So you buy your food and you're allowed to bring in your bottle. So that's definitely a way to cut costs, right? Because let's be real, for people that drink on like alcohol is expensive outside. Like literally one drink is $20, right? So it adds up. So that's definitely to me, that's very thoughtful. A guy to be like, let's go to this Thai place, what type of wine do you like? I'll bring a bottle, all the wine enthusiasts. What's the names of them? Sava, Weiss and
Just stop.
Chardonnay, this one, that one. Just bring some regular liquor store bottle, something decent. You have it. You will spend below $100 easily. Okay, it's about being intentional. So I brought up restaurant somewhere chill, vibe, ethnic, BYOB, something along those lines. Activities. Bowling was on that list. People still don't like bowling. I don't really, I didn't really understand
It
it
was
that well.
fun.
I think it was fun because I've gone. I like arcade, something interactive. I don't really like movies. Like someone they put on the list. Movie night is different from going to the movie theater. And let me expand why I don't like movies. I feel like at the movies you're not doing stuff together. You can't talk. So to me, that's why I feel like a movie date is not really like we're not getting to know each other. Like for
It's
the
not
first date,
it's that on a normal, you don't go to the movies, period. You don't
no,
go to
but
the
but that's not why I'm mentioning it.
movies.
I'm saying, but that's not why I'm mentioning it. You don't hear what I'm just saying. You're not interacting. At the movies, you're watching something. If you're going and like, when are you guys talking? When you guys getting to know each other? When you asking questions? You're watching the movie and eating popcorn. Like to me, that's not really a setting to really talk and get to know each other.
What's
That's
something
why.
you do with someone you're already with, kind of.
Thank you. Like your boy, you're in a relationship, something right there. Let's go watch this new movie. Or for me, first date to the movies, that was on my. It's questionable for me. Like I don't really feel like that's an environment to really talk and get to know each other. Like I'm not about to be talking through a movie. Like that's my reasoning. And then I mentioned, people mention sporting events. I don't understand why. Like you wouldn't. I mean, unless you're maybe they're from the thought like if like some women are not into sports. So maybe that I can understand that rationale, right? But I would love to go to a basketball game with someone on the like I would it would be like, oh my God, because I love basketball, right? So I can understand if you're not really into this stuff, like someone's mentioning top golf, stuff like that. I think that would be a cool first date, something interactive, something that you guys are like getting talking while you're actually doing something together. I think that's fun. But before we go into the comments, Nana, what was your best first date?
Oh, I know it's been so long.
Stop it.
Best first date? Best first date?
Let me
I
tell you
don't-
mine. Why you think you need time to think about it?
Yeah, I definitely need some time to think about
My
it.
best first date was at a spa. So it wasn't like a massage, like that's a little too much. But like there's this place in Jersey that does I don't know anyone from Jersey. You guys know Sojo. Sojo is like it has massage, but it's like like sauna. It's like really nice. It's in Edgewater. Like it's like like an Asian spa. Like they have like the pools. They have all this stuff. So it's cool. So I met some guy I was talking to, whatever. This is years. Hi, time has flown. So that was our first date, and I felt like it was so fun. It was so different. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like it wasn't necessarily that expensive. Like entry is like $60, $70, like day pass, you get to walk around, like you're not getting a massage, you're not getting services. That's when you pay additional money. But it was actually really chill, and we got to talk, just go to the different stuff. And I really felt like it was really like thoughtful, and it was really like actually engaging, and it was fun. It was different. But then I don't know, have you thought about your best first
I
date?
hate quite an exciting first. I feel like they're mostly just restaurants. So I don't think there's anything that's ever stood out to me like, oh my gosh, this was so
Like
memorable.
something different. Okay.
Mhm.
So Mia said, per Tony Gaskins, he said you should talk to a man on the phone, not text. Minimum 10 hours before I go on a date, see if the man is creative. No, Mia, I agree with it. Like I'm telling you, like I'm not, and I'm saying this from experience. There's certain things you will find out while you're on the date. Just like you're just counting down. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. I just want to get out of here. Because I don't know you like that. Like I do think that before you actually go and sit down and meet up with somebody, like I need to, not to say I need to know your freaking social security number or anything. But I do need to like have some type of like knowledge of you. Like I don't want to meet a guy on the street and say, okay, let's go out for dinner tomorrow. Like, I don't know you. Like I'm not saying I haven't done it necessarily. I'm not I have done it. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Like that's why I'm not trying to say like I don't do it or I haven't done it or I haven't done it recently, but I've noticed there's a trend. Like especially like summer that you're getting all dressed up and like I'm not trying to just do that with strangers. That's me personally. I want to kind of get to know you. Jared is laughing, and I love the mindset, lady in black. You are wrong about Charlotte, North Carolina, but you're on point tonight. I could seriously date someone with your mindset. Thank you, L I. I don't know if is it Lil L I. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it. Keep them coming. Make sure you guys like this video. We're about to open up the lines for you guys to call in and let us know where you're not going on your first date, what's your worst or like best date experiences, and how you feel overall about this list. Tulani said, LOL, mini golf. I had, it has a lot to do with age as well. Maybe in high school you can go to the movies. Yes, age is a big factor. In high school you should be able to go to any. I don't care. Even McDonald's for high school, that's a date.
Mhm.
Okay, fast food, sitting down and going to Wendy's, that's a date. Like that's it. We have to put age into this. All right. So we also want to hit on the point is like we talk about first dates, talk about effort, and of course, money is involved. But we don't want to lose sight also about what Neno's kind of speaking to is that like because a guy is necessarily taking you to some like nice restaurant doesn't necessarily mean that they are serious or they value you. And I think that's why I mentioned the point about capacity. As I said, when you are dating someone, it's very important to be realistic and understand capacity. Someone could be taking you to like someone like a cheesecake factory, and like to them, that's a big deal based
Mhm.
on where they live their life, based on what they make, all those things. And someone could be take you to freaking Mastros, and based on the capacity, that's nothing. Like it's literally like it's not doing it. It's not moving the needle for them. Like it's not like, and they're not doing anything grand. They're not doing anything out of the ordinary. It's just it's average for them. Like it's regular. So I do think that it's important not to necessarily be misled and feel like, oh, because a guy is taking me to all these places, he's more serious than the guy who isn't. It's hard to determine these things sometimes. Like me and I have this conversations all the time, like, oh, because a guy does this doesn't mean he likes more than a guy does that. Not necessarily. There's a lot of gray area and there's a lot of blurred lines when it comes to certain things, but of course, like we said, we're putting more emphasis on the effort. Like I have a guy friend, he mentioned we were talking about this like weeks ago about like dates, and he mentioned that the average girl would think that a coffee date is low effort. I want you guys to respond in the comment section. Do you guys think a coffee date is low effort for your first date? Because that was on the list as well. Do you guys think coffee, Starbucks, tea, is that low effort? Is this something that you would do? Would you meet up with somebody?
I think the context matters, like we're saying. Like Mia talks about Tony Gaskins recommended 10. Like, have we been talking for 10 hours plus and like we like each other and then you say let's meet up for coffee? Or is this
Mhm.
someone you just met online
Yeah,
yesterday?
that's a good one.
We just met online yesterday. You just want a quick meetup to catch a vibe. Oh, let's just meet up. Let's go grab coffee tomorrow night. I feel like the context really matters, but I do think it's a bit low effort.
Petra,
Maybe.
God is taking us out of it soon. I've declared it. It's and I feel like we've made it unnecessarily complicated, right? And like I said, I think the problem, like we mentioned earlier, is that the reality is that we have all these ways of meeting people now. You have online, you have this, you have that. So people have this illusion of options because people are way more accessible. But in the reality, take away all based on how things are going, do you really have more options? Because if you're dating all these people, I feel like it comes to a point it also even makes things more confusing. Like we talk about back in the day when people, their only options were people they went to church with, people went to school with, maybe someone in their neighborhood. Sometimes people are better with less options. That's just the reality. I know it doesn't sound necessarily correct when you just think about like, oh, I have so many people to choose from. Now I can date someone across the Pacific. It should be better. But based on the way it's moving, it's not necessarily better.
Coffee
I don't
dates.
I don't drink coffee. Wait, Anna, I skip Anna. Coffee dates are good for a meetup type date. So, but Anna, is that your first date? You're saying meetup. We keep emphasizing first date. That meetup, one of those meetups are going to be a first date, right? So, is that okay? Petra said, I don't drink coffee, so yes, it's low effort. How about tea? Justina said, yes, a coffee, tea, ice cream is low effort. And we keep emphasizing, Justina, I guess it's first date, right? You're okay. She's saying a meetup is not a date. Oh my God, we have too much language here. So what is a meetup is what? If you guys are saying a meetup is not a date, it's just like a 1 hour quick in and out. Is it just let me get some information about you? How you guys differentiate? What are you guys using to differentiate a meetup and a date?
A date to me should be more I feel like a meetup is just casual.
Yeah.
First, I don't know, but yeah, to me, coffee date is another. That almost that's honorable mention to coffee, ice cream. To me, that's to me personally as a first date, as someone that likes me, and you say you like me, and we're like getting to know each other. That's low effort.
I
Unless you
love
take me somewhere where we're gonna make the coffee, you taking me somewhere that they make coffee or they make the ice cream. We're doing an ice cream making class or something. Okay, that's a little different. That's more like interactive, more thoughtful, more. But just meeting up for ice cream as and we've been talking and you like me at my age, no, that's low effort.
Yeah, I love fun dates, like amusement parks, roller skating, something active to see if they have a fun personality, not boring. Yeah, that's why I mentioned doing something together. I think is cool. She just said that's the first red flag when a guy wants to call a date a meetup. Yeah. Like to me, what's the like? I don't see it. It's a way of you making it less serious so you can spend less. Haven, I love tea, which I do, and you take me to a unique tea room to sample exotic teas, and that's very thoughtful. And remember, yes, Haven, you on that level, yes. Otherwise, coffee, tea is no effort, and that's the point we talk about the effort. Is the effort for me is not because you guys are people are so quick to make it seem as if like people are just being so unreasonable. Like no, like there's nice like tea shops, there's nice coffee shops, there's things that like they have. Oh, I know you like dark roast. This place has the best dark roast from Ethiopia. Oh, so you know what I mean? Like you're being intentional about it. You know what I mean? You're not saying let's meet up at Dunkin' Donuts. You know what I mean? Like no. Jared said dudes will want to smash if woman's doing the most on first day by ordering so much food, etc. So it's about perspective. Wrong, but that's reality of our generation. Listen, Jared, you're making a point. We've argued about this. I've talked to some of my friends who even is live about it. There is first date etiquette. Okay, there's first date etiquette. I know, for example, I'm someone that goes out to eat. I don't really order a lot because the way they price, I love food, but at the same time, I'm not crazy about going out and spending a lot of money just to buy food outside. Like it's weird. So I'm not someone who's gonna go out and gonna buy an appetizer. They're gonna buy a main meal. They're gonna go get a dessert. They're gonna go get 3 drinks. I don't eat like that. I'm trying to lose weight as well. It's even a big gluttonous. But there's some people who go out to eat and that's how they eat, right? So
Right.
their argument is that if they go out on a date, why should they change? But no, let me tell you, like I keep bringing up the point, and that's why I brought up the point about not even wanting to go on a nice place first date because it's expectation. Jared is a man. That's why we like the male gaze. We like men to come and give their perspective. He literally laid it out. As much as you guys want to say no, he invited me. I don't owe him nothing. Blah blah blah. We are living in the real world. We're not living in a fantasy land. Okay. I believe if you're going on a date, especially first date, be reasonable. You're not going there to eat for the whole day. Eat. Don't make that. If it's 8 p.m. dinner, that's not the first time you ate. Okay. Eat food that day. Even if the Uber eats, eat food that day. You're not coming there to eat your food for the next 2 days.
My aunt in Nigeria once said that girls will be ordering food for their dead grandmother.
You know what viral? We're gonna be start doing reacting to videos. A girl spent basically like $200 in Nigeria on a meal, and it like went viral. Like, and it's like it comes to a point like you have to be reasonable. Like you're not coming out. You don't barely know this person, and you're just ordering like you don't have sense. Like it doesn't look good as a woman. Period. Like it just doesn't. And like I said, I've been on this. Men are begging me, order more, order more. You sure you're not drinking? Even the whole drinking part. I don't really know you like that. I don't know. I may sound a little extra saying these things, but to me, it's even kind of like a risk drinking on a date with someone I don't really know like that. Like I don't kind of like I don't know
You don't
you.
have
I don't. I know, but I'm saying like people that like drink several like all like I don't even want to be like, like I don't know you like that.
you don't
Like
want
I
to be
still
toasty.
right. Like I feel like you still need to be reasonable as a woman. I know you can buy these things for yourself. I know we're women. We go out. We buy ourselves all this stuff on our own. So it's not like we're going like I necessarily going out and because you're hungry. But we have to you have to think about the optics of, as well. Like be reasonable. Portia, I went on one coffee date and I think that was it for me. I prefer getting to know someone well prior to a first date via phone conversation and have the first meeting be something thoughtful. I agree. 100%. I said that's me. I'm not about, oh, I meet you today, you want to meet up 3 days later just to be talking. No, whatever we're saying at that coffee date, let's say it on the phone. Let's talk on the phone. That's fine. Let me get to even let's before we even meet up and exert and waste energy and time. Let's see if there's a connection. Let's see if there is a mutual interest. Let's see if we're compatible. Like honestly, like what's the point of meeting up with these people? It's not going to go anywhere. It's a waste of time. Like what we're like, I get it that face to face is important. Like I understand that. Like being with someone, spending quality time with someone is important. But I'm not about just meeting people. No, mm-mm. Let's get to know each other. Thoughtfulness is very important. Also, I'm not doing a coffee date as a first date with a man romantically interested in me. Yeah, like it's like it could be like a meetup like after, but first date, no, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. And I said, meetup is to confirm you look like pictures, not obviously crazy. It's okay there, because especially online, there's a lot of catfishing, right? So people are putting up, they don't look like their pictures. You want to make sure you're real. I can see that, especially because we're talking about online where a lot of people are meeting people. That's reasonable. Dating in college is easier. You're surrounded by people your age group and people who think and move like you. Dating past 30, everyone has baggage, kids, past breakups, and other priorities. Little Inez, it's funny you mentioned that 'cause I was watching one of my other YouTubers' lives. I watch her a lot, and she's based in London. Basically, her live, I think it was Saturday, talking about like men like going into like bad, like illegal stuff because of the pressure, like to be with women. So a lot of women were calling in. They were talking about their daughters. Like my daughter's 20 years old. She's doing well. She makes this money. She shops at. One lady said my daughter's 23. She has two businesses. She shops at Nordstrom. I'm not letting her date anyone who's not on her level. So basically, the moderator, the YouTuber, she has sons, right? And they're like young, like 20 around their age. So she's coming from the perspective of her sons because she basically asked her sons, like, "Are you guys dating?" And they're like, "How date? These women, they want is money. Like they're crazy, blah blah blah." And these are 20-year-old guys. So a lot of women were coming in talking about, like their daughter is not going to go to McDonald's, even though their daughter is like 20 years old because she's on a certain level, blah, blah, blah. And I see it from both sides. But basically, the end of that discussion was like, okay, then your daughter shouldn't expect guys her age to be doing those things for her. It's not reasonable. If she wants that certain type of lifestyle, she has to be willing to date older men. That's just a reality. It kind of bring me to the point then because I'm remembering this because little Ernest had made that comment about women wanting one of our lives about women necessarily wanting a lot. And I was saying, I don't think that's true. The normal girl in her early 20s, they're very reasonable. They don't want that much. And then you had Contra saying that women always have that option to go to older guys who can give them that lifestyle. So if anything, you were like kind of siding with little Ernest, like you could see where he's coming from. And I wasn't really thinking that way because also remember too, things are very different now. Like when we were in college, even how many years ago, like I feel like that we didn't have social media like that. That's a big driver of a lot of these things. People weren't as like showy. You didn't really see people weren't doing everything to post it and feel like they're upping the next person and they're living a better life than them. So, it is a reality. Dating in college is easier, yes, but as you get older, people are at a certain point in their life, and I don't think it's necessarily wrong for them to have, higher expectations. They just have to be, reasonable. What about picnic or walks in the park? Is that low effort? First date? I kind of think so. I don't know. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Ori, I believe all first dates meetups should be low effort. The point is experience each other to see if you're compatible. Focusing on the venues the date was tracked for that purpose. Ori, I see a concept, but my thing is that okay, why meet up? Why not talk on the phone and experience each other and see if you're compatible? You don't need to. That's the point I'm making from my personal experience. I don't see the need of meeting up to see if you're compatible. That compatibility can be tested through the phone, through conversations, before you guys even waste each other's time to go meet up. That's just my personal take on it. Picnic is not low effort, especially if they have a basket, blanket, the food, drinks. That's cute, but a walk in the park is low effort. That's a meetup. Okay. Okay, so I think picnics are too intimate for a first date. Really? See, yeah, people have very different opinions. Mia said, per 20 Gaskins, when you go on the first date, he said offer to pay your half. And if he says no, then put your money away. He needs to see you're independent. Tony, I don't agree. Tony Gas, I know Tony Gaskins, he's a real one, but I don't believe with that one. I don't believe in that one. I mean, I see where he's coming from, but I don't believe in that one. He said the only way a man will let you pay for half is if he thinks you are a feminist or his finances are low. Hmm. I don't know. And first date is a first impression. It should represent you. So the place that a guy chooses to take you says a lot about him. Thoughtfulness matters, not money. Right. It is a first impression. Like I said, before you even go through all the stress and energy and start doing all of that, make sure that there's something there. Make sure it's worth it. Make sure you guys, I just don't see the point, man or woman, especially men, if you're the one going to be paying for it, I don't see the need to rush and meet up with someone that you don't even know their last name. You don't even know what they like. You don't even know their like. I just feel like it's and then be talking about money later. Oh, you don't want to spend money. Then why rush to meet up with the person? Take your time and get to know them through the phone, which is free. And you want to call in, talk about your first date experiences, where you're not going on a first date. Last week we had some interesting calls. We're getting ready to round up. So if you are dare to be so brave and call in and just talk about your perspective, whether it's on the list, whether it's where you're not going, where you would want to go, please use that link. Evie said, "Who is Tony Gaskin and why should we listen to him?" Robin, nah, like I don't agree with that, and I don't. I've never done that. I don't plan to do that. I'm not pulling out anything to test no man. I feel like a man that I need to test is someone I don't even need to be with. That's how I personally feel like, and that's why I keep reiterating the getting to know someone before going on the dates is not by force. We're not starving. I mean, I love food, but we're not that hungry. We're not that desperate. Get to know the type of person you're talking to, what they would let you do. For example, I want to date with some guy, and then after we went on a date, and then after we like walked around, and I wanted to get ice cream. So he went to the ice cream place, and I wanted to go. He didn't get anything. I did not expect him to pay. Like I put out my card because I'm like, we already went to dinner. I'm the one that wants the ice cream. I'm the one that's greedy. You don't eat this. Why would I expect you to pay? He would not let me pay. So I understand that's a little different of a situation, right? Because you already went on the date, and this is like a part two, and like we're just walking around, and I wanted to do that, so I didn't expect him, but he would like no, even started getting offended. I'm like, okay, cool. So I don't know, maybe that's my one scenario where I've tested someone, but I'm not gonna be on a date and pull up and say I'm gonna pay. No, no. I agree. Activities will show the real you in situations. Perfect first date. You're not so much your thoughts. You can actually see if it's a vibe. Yes, that's why I don't believe in the movies. Like I said, you're watching people on the screen. Like we're first date now. Of course, I would never ask a man on the first date to pay my half. That's a hard no, never. No. Or we say you can't fully experience a person through a conversation. You can like what a person says, but not feel him physically. And I understand that. But like I said, the conversation is to get you to a certain level before the meetup. Like I said, it's like there's certain things you will gauge and assess from that conversation before you say, okay, let's. And I'm trying to be considered. Like I said, I don't want to waste someone's resources, and I don't want to waste even though I'm not paying, I don't want to waste my time. To be frank, so I don't understand why the same men who will complain about, oh, I'm not spending money, I don't have money, but then y'all rushing to meet up with girls in 2 days. Like what? Like I to me, a lot of it is even trying to get some meets in so they can get to the point quicker. Like that's the way I'm even looking at it. Because if I'm someone that doesn't want to spend a lot, I don't need to meet up with you quick. Let's take our time. What's the rush? Mia said he is a popular relationship coach. I feel like she knows. I think she's trying to be smart. He's a popular relationship coach on
I
YouTube.
love hands.
Basically saying he's basically saying what a man pays for, he owes in his mind and will expect something from. And that's why I keep bringing up me at the point. Like I said it, I've been to the nice fancy place first date. For me, I personally, like I said, unless it's really in your capacity, unless you're really moved like that, like this is nothing for you. I don't even want a guy taking me to doing too crazy for first date. I don't want that expectations. I don't want you to feel like now you owe me because you invested money in, and now I owe you because you're invested money on me.
Now, if you spent $300 and then now you say, "Oh, can I come over?" I'm like, "No," and you're
Exactly.
like,
Yeah, you feel a certain type of way because you first is the $30. I'd be like, you want the $30 back? but I'm not giving you $300 back. I will sell you that $30 right back and be like, leave me alone. But I'm not selling you 300. But I'm not sending it to you. So like I said, I don't even want someone to get the wrong impression of me. Like this is some type of like pay for service. Nah. Like I don't want someone to think because they did this and that. Now they have all these crazy, unrealistic expectations. No.
So we
So
put the link. Sorry, real quick for StreamYard. I want someone to join in before we end and answer this question. I have a simple question. Do you believe this is men and women can answer, but it'll be really interesting if a man answers this. Can a man really like a woman and not be willing to take her out on dates? Do you
yes.
believe a man can really like a woman and not be taking her out? Because I feel like
Yes. Me
this
and
is
you
kind of
argue all the time. Yes. Someone call in.
this is not. I equated to me and Guzzy always have this argument about weight loss. I equated to I telling Guzzy like she says like, oh, someone could really want to lose weight and not be going to the gym. It's very, very
Yes.
simple. Like, someone can really want to
Yes.
lose weight and still be eating poorly. So I'm very curious, especially if a guy can join in right now. As a man, are you telling me you could really like a woman, really see her in your future, really feel as if like she might be the one for you, and you really find it like an issue to take her out on dates? Like you really find that
Well,
that's
no, we just concluded these men of they're low effort. Low effort men don't like women. Is that what you're trying to say? Are you trying to say that low effort with men because they're low effort, they're not attracted to women, they don't like women?
I just feel like a man that's not doing certain things, he doesn't like you enough. That's
No.
the argument I make. I'm not saying that they can't like you. I'm not going to be ridiculous, right? But I feel like someone that really likes a woman and sees that woman in his future really wants to, especially a man, you want to impress a woman. You want her to view you in a certain way. You want her to respect you. You want her to really like admire you. I feel like a man that really likes a woman is going to navigate. It's
Nana, Nana, listen. Let me tell you, in a perfect world, what you're saying makes sense. Like I tell you, but like we learn in life, a lot of life is not black and white, it's a lot of gray. There could be a guy right now loses sleep over you who has never given you $5.
I rejected it.
And there could be a guy who is paying your rent, legit. And because like I keep saying, I keep bringing up capacity. And there's a reason why I keep bringing that up. It's not a big deal for them. Some people, men especially, they're just low effort. They're just this generation has bred some of the most low effort men in the world. They're low
Are
effort.
they low effort or are they doing it for someone else? Just can't do
Yeah,
it for fun.
no, that it could be a possibility. That's a different scenario, but I do believe this guy's not doing it for anyone.
Right.
The girls they date, they get invited to sections, they get invited to boys' parties, they get invited to the house, they get invited to the cookouts. That's how they date. That's how a lot of these men in generation date. That's why women are making a list and putting these things on them. They're not crazy. They didn't pick things from the sky and just throw them on a list because they want to be funny. They're doing it based on experience. These men are extremely low efforts. They're low effort. That's how they date in this day and age. So I don't think it's
You don't view applying pressure to equate to how much a man likes you.
so you're defining applying pressure, but I'm saying how are you defining applying pressure?
Like, I guess in the dating aspect, like take you out often, doing things with you, wanting, like one, even if he don't care for it, but wanting to impress you, wanting to make you happy. You don't feel as if like a guy that really applies more pressure most likely likes you more than a guy who is not doing
He
those
may
things.
not like you more, but he wants you more.
Hmm.
There's a difference. He may not like you more, but he wants you more. He wants you more. That's me. The men are disagreeing with me. Stop texting. Join the call. Become talk. You disagree with me. I want to hear it. Toby said activity is great. First days is greater than eating. Yes, people agree. Yes, eating is low effort to me. I'm tired of going out to eat. The perfect day is doing activity than eating after, but it doesn't have to be steak 48. Basically, he just said because a man paid for your date don't mean he a good guy. That's what Tony Gas was saying. Exactly, Haven. Yes, I don't have to take her on a fancy dates if I genuinely like her. Just be. Yes, 100% is not about low effort. I can get to know without spending a dime. Low effort men are looking for the thing. A man who is seriously interested in dating a woman will court her. In 2023, Haven, we'll get back to this, Haven. We'll get back to this. Belnor's laughing. You laughing at me? You laughing at me? Not low effort. Low effort. When I talk about low effort men, I start itching. The biggest turn off from me is a low effort. It's the biggest turn off. I start scratch. I need to go take Benadryl when I talk about low effort men. They make me sick. Like Toby says, don't agree, Sha. They're just low effort for you. Toby, you're a man. Come join us. I'm telling you, I'm not arguing and saying there's not men who did. Like they say, someone won't do it for you, but to do it for the next person. But when I talk about someone who is truly low effort,
They don't do it for no
it doesn't
one.
matter. I'm talking about people who they won't do it for Beyonce. They won't do it for you. Like legit, they're just low effort. They don't believe in spending. There's men, they don't believe on spending money on women. They don't believe on that includes dates. That includes anything.
But
Dating.
they believe in touching these women.
Okay, we'll get there. They don't believe in spending money on women. Period. So to me, that guy is not just low effort. He's low effort. Period. He's low effort. Period. And it doesn't mean that same guy does he not end up liking women, Toby? He don't have women he like. He don't have women he date, but he just low effort. And he deals with women who are willing to accept his low effort behavior. Period. There's a lot of women who they're okay. Like I said, there's women that are okay getting invited to the section. There's women who are okay being invited to the boys' cookout. That's oh, we're going out. They're okay with that. So I don't think but I get what you're saying. I don't want to give men all these excuses. Yes, there are men who they pick, like I said, men are not dumb. They pick and choose. They know the women who are going to take, and they doing that to them because women take it. And the women that demand more, they'll either walk away or they'll
Right,
do more.
right.
It's both. It's a gamble, right? You never know. Jared said, I'm sorry, but I have to agree with Nana with this one. I'm spoiling my girl, but it can all depend on the dude. Everybody's different. Yes, like I'm not saying, listen, what I'm saying is that Jared, you're talking about you're spoiling your girl. I'm assuming someone you like, someone you end up being with. But what I'm saying is that there's people who, even if that's their girl, they're not spoiling them. That's their philosophy. They just don't, that's not their thing. There's men that's just not their
No,
thing.
but I think what Jared is making a point that I feel like a lot of guys I've met, even I tell you in this video, even African men are I'm just shocking. That's why I see all this stuff online about they do this, they do that. I still find it to be very low effort. But I think a lot of men feel as if for you to get that treatment, you have to be their girlfriend slash wife. Like before they're willing to, but if I tell you before you can touch me, you must be my boyfriend slash husband.
They're not ready
That
for that conversation. They're not ready for the conversation.
that
They're not
doesn't
ready.
translate well for them. If I
That they
tell you before you
they
can
don't
touch
have
me,
that
you have to be my
conversation.
boyfriend slash husband, then I will be able to give you that type of access. They don't like
Look,
that.
look, Precious agree with me. She said, I agree with Ngozi. Things aren't black and white. A lot of mental illness. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I feel like this. I'm giving you guys, I'm trying to be a bit extreme, but I really believe there are some people who can go above and beyond for you. It's not because they necessarily like you that much, or not because it's just a thing for them. There's people, that's just how they operate. That's just how they move for people they like, they're interested in. Period. That's just a thing. It doesn't mean because they're so into you or they're so crazy about you. That's just how they express themselves. There's people who they don't do all that. They
Yeah.
can love a girl, they could be all up into her, but they're not about to be whining and dining and take you shopping. That's not their thing. That's not their thing. So I think it's dangerous to equate, like I said, prefaced earlier. I think it's dangerous to equate what someone's spending on you or what someone is doing for you to how much they like you. In a perfect world, yes, that would be a 1 + 1 = 2. But I don't, from what I've observed, it doesn't always equal that. It doesn't always add up that way. Talani said, I agree with the one in the green shirt. What he's expecting us to do if we become a couple, he needs to court me. I'm not saying, I'm not agreeing. Listen, when I'm telling y'all that this is how some people operate, I'm not saying that it's right.
Right.
I'm not saying that it's acceptable and now you should be like, oh, well, he don't do nothing for me, but he really liked me, so I'm fine. No, I would never date someone who's not putting effort into me, period. Like I said, low effort, they make me itchy. I don't talk to them. I pass them easily. I would never, ever entertain them. But what I'm trying to preface is that I don't believe that because someone isn't putting in the level of effort you want and someone is putting in more, that person putting in more likes you more. No. I don't necessarily believe. I think that the person like you more could just be willing to put in more effort. That's just how they move, and if someone else just doesn't do that, so they just don't. It doesn't mean they hate you. It doesn't mean they don't like you, but that they're not willing to do all of that because they don't do that for anyone. It's not a thing for them. Then they don't move that way. David said, just be, but you can put in effort without spending a dime. If she loves art, you take her to art gallery. You say, but that's effort and thoughtfulness because $0. Hello? Let's be said, just like men can love you, but still don't spend a lot of time with you. I mean, that's another way to look at it. Yeah, you could say because someone's spending more time. Like I said, and so I keep bringing up the capacity part. What do you have? What are it's not just money, time. What is the norm for you? What do you have to give somebody? because someone could be giving you that small time, but they're so busy that small time is more than someone giving you all this time who has more time. So when it says we have to be careful. That's I is I don't I think it's dangerous to start saying because someone is doing more, they're spending more, they're doing this and that means they like you more. It doesn't always work that way.
Mia's in
Mia,
the waiting room.
yes, I don't see her.
We
Let me go
have
through
it.
these comments real quick.
Hi, Mia.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi,
Hi.
thanks for joining. I was seeing your comment. You said also heard from guys, don't let a man pick you up for a date, especially just meeting him, just in case you have to leave. Oh yeah, I don't trust it. I don't even want you to know where I live. I know you may not be coming to my apartment, but I don't want no guy knowing where I live that we're going on the first date now. Mm-mm. But hi, Mia, what you have to say? We ask people to join in, whether you're talking about your where you're not going on dates with. We showed the list earlier. I don't know if you were here and you got to see it. Places we're not going on a first date, places that you would think that you would like to go on a date. How do you feel about the whole first date thing? Like for example, we're giving coffee shops and stuff. Do you have like some hard no's, like places that you would not go on a first date, and tell us why?
Yes, I would definitely say, of course, like the house, that's a no-no. But for me, I like fun dates. That you could really be active because I've met so many guys that, yeah, they cool to talk on the phone, but then when you get out of, on a date with them, they're actually boring. They have no personality at all. I need to know that you like to have fun, like you like to get down, so that's my thing.
So
All right, so like,
you couldn't be with a boring guy.
Oh, hell no. No.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree, and that's why I keep mentioning. That's why I kept saying the movies one. Like, it's not because I don't care for the movie theater, but like I just don't know how you're gonna go to movies and be talking. Like, it's not active enough. Like you're just sitting there and watching a screen. First date, I don't like it. But I do agree. We talked about like bowling, going to places like arcades. Like there's so many Top Golf. Haven I mentioned like art music. Just doing something like doing something together that's interactive and engaging. A museum, you know what I mean? Like something different. And I do think that a lot of guys, like we said, they get so caught up in money, but they don't realize it's more about money. It's more about effort and being creative and really thinking, you know what I mean? Like really thinking outside the box, like really putting in. And that's why I keep mentioning, right? I understand. I try and put myself in a man's shoes. I don't want to be getting all creative and thinking for all these women. That's why I keep bringing up the point. Get to know someone first. Have conversations. Make sure this person's worth your time. You're worth their time. I don't expect someone to be formulating first dates every week with a new person. You know what I mean? Or every other day because you're dating multiple people. It's gonna get overwhelming. That's why I keep pushing to have those conversations first. See if you guys are even compatible. See if you guys are even a match, and then go from there. But yeah, I
Yes.
mean,
And
how
you're so right. Like, and that's the reason why I know everybody get on me about Tony Gaskins, but he be so right. Like the way he breaks it down, it makes more sense versus the way I put it in the chat. But when he said as far as offer your half, the way he was saying it is just letting the man know that you're not looking for a handout. It's like, okay, at the end of the day, you offer to pay your half. Of course, the man not gonna be like, oh yeah, you can pay your half. But he said to offer to pay your half, so he would know that you independent, that you don't need him. And if when y'all come together, you can hold your own technically. And I have actually did it my way, which is the way, okay, you know what I'm saying? You expect a man to pay, don't say nothing, versus the way that Tony Gaskins said. And I really received so many compliments. They was like, wow, I have never met a woman like you. They said that's something different. They was like, a man must have taught you that. Because women don't think like that. And I'm like, it was cool that he's different. As a woman, we
First they're
naturally
gonna like it because one day they're gonna tell you, yeah, bring half. So of course they're gonna like you. But
yes,
but I
but huh?
but I understand also too more because I keep forgetting a lot of people are meeting people online, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
can understand more. Like I keep saying, I keep reiterating that you're meeting people you barely know, you're jumping to a date. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I can understand that more, the expectation being a bit different, right? Because like I don't really know you, you don't really know me. So
Mm-hmm.
if you really look at it in that sense, why would I go out with a complete stranger and then expect them to pay for my food? Like I don't really
Mm-hmm.
know you. So I could see that more like you pulling up and like the offering because like legit, like I don't even want to like we don't know each other. Like we just met, you know what I mean? We're just getting to know each other. I keep bringing up the emphasis, try and get to know someone more before going to dates because I think that would avoid stuff like that. And I'm not necessarily knocking a woman who would do that because at the same time, we bring up a lot of men are quick, like you say, they'll take you out, but they'll throw it in your face. They'll say
Mm-hmm.
make it feel as if you owe them something now because they took you out somewhere. They asked you to take you out, and now they want to spin it like you're kind of owing them. So I guess the
Mm-hmm.
point that Tony Gass is trying to kind of make is that you offering is kind of sending that message like I'm not starving. I could feed
Mm-hmm.
myself. You know what I mean? I'm not coming out here just to get free food. I
Yes.
appreciate you, taking me out. But if you don't have it, I'll pay for mine. We may never see each other again, but I'll pay for
Right.
mine and we'll keep it
Yes.
moving. So
Yes.
I
Perfect.
now that your break is, I could kind of, I understand the rationale. Not to say I would do it, but I understand the rationale more now.
Me, I
Like
have a
why?
question. Have you done this and then the has the man actually let you pay?
No, actually, no, he haven't. So that's why I said when I offered it, it was more like, wow, that's different. Because men, they always say that women just sit there. The same thing that Tony Gaskin said. He said, naturally, whatever you pay for, you technically think you own. You expect something in return. That's anything in life. When you pay for, you expect something in return. He said, why wouldn't a woman think that a man wouldn't want something in return? If he paying for it, yeah, he's going to want something in return, whether it's a kid, sex, whatever the case may be.
Mm.
And I can see that point of view. That's the reason why I always listen to him, because he's coming from a man point of view. Women and men we think totally different on a lot of things.
Very different. That's why we be begging the men to come in and tell you and to talk because it's different. I don't know if you watch there's a program Harley initiated. Tony Gass was on the line there like 2 weeks ago. I was videoing all the. I had to just stop videoing the clips and just send it because he was just spitting from the beginning. He was spitting that hour 40 minutes. Tony Gaskins was spitting from the beginning to the end.
Yes.
He was just oh that man is he talked about the books he reads. He don't watch TV. He just watch sports. He reads like
Mm-hmm.
all these what's the one man he studies? Miles Monroe. He studies like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of really smart people, and you could tell because the way he talk, he's just in a different realm because he's not
Mm-hmm.
thinking like the average person. Like he's just not. Like his mind is crazy. But like I get it. I understand. Like I said, I don't me as a woman, I don't like that ownership part. I don't like the I don't want someone feeling as if because they bought me food, now they owe me
Mm-hmm.
something.
Right.
Food,
Mm-hmm.
food
Mm-hmm.
that I'm gonna put like come on now. No. I don't
Lastly,
like that
lastly,
feeling.
me, I have a question. I know you. Has a man ever got offended though that you offered to pay or have?
No, not in my experience. I can't speak for other people, but not in my experience. So it went really good. It's more that they said it shows independence. Like, and I'm there because I actually want to be there. Not that, what I'm saying, I need to be
You
there
looking
because
for
I'm
a free
expecting
you
a
looking
handout.
for a free meal because your fridge is empty. Nah, like nah.
Yes.
All right. Mhm.
Yes, and he also brought up. I don't know if y'all heard about this, but I didn't even think nothing like this. He said your first date should be between like 2 to 4 hours because he said after 4 hours, a man naturally start feeling themselves and it look like you desperate that you have no life afterwards. I never thought like that.
No.
I never thought like that. That's why I was like, wow. And then he was saying
Yeah,
even
4 hours
after,
is a long time for a first
huh?
date. I said, yeah, 4 hours, over 4 hours. That's a long time to be with like someone on a first date for 4+ hours. That's long.
Yes, and he was saying even after you go on a date, what I'm saying, you shouldn't even be talking to him like for hours afterwards. He said, no, it makes it look like you're just desperate and you have no life. I'm like, wow, I didn't even think like that. That's something I don't think about.
It's too many things you have to, it's too much game. That's the
What's
thing about
rules
dating
these
now. It's too
days?
many rules, it's too much game. You want to be authentic self. You don't want to come off, too
Mm,
pushy, too needy, too desperate, blah, blah, blah. But it's like sometimes and I get it, the rules are put in there for a certain for a reason, right? But then it gets hard because sometimes playing too many games can be an issue, right? And then not playing
mhm,
enough games could be an issue, or not playing going through enough of the rules. But me, I think you made a good point. He gives good advice. He mentioned the 10 hours, the 10 hours. He really got it down to the hours. I keep reiterating it before
mhm,
going out with somebody. I want to know if I even like you. I even want to know if we're even like if you start saying some weird stuff, we're not compatible. It will
mhm,
never work. We don't think the
mhm,
same. We're like you do have, and I'm saying this from experience. As rushing to the dating part, you start learning things too late. And it's like I don't want to. It's inflation. Money is hard. I don't want to use someone's resources that I know nothing's gonna happen from it. Like honestly, even if they're begging me, like I don't want that because, like I said, you mentioned nothing is free. That's the rule in economics. There's no free lunch. And even if you don't pay for it, someone else pays for it. I don't want someone thinking that because they did, like they took me out on a date, that now I'm on even my time, that now I have to pick
Mhm.
up their calls. Now they're giving me an attitude when I'm picking up their calls. No, I don't have to pick up your calls if we're not compatible. And we know this
Mhm.
there. I don't owe you, you don't owe me. So when you take off, you get to know someone first, I think it makes things a lot better. But
Mhm.
thanks, yeah, thanks for
Thank
joining.
you.
Thank
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. All right, let me go through these comments real quick. Oh, a minute 20. We just how do we go so long? Like
I
this
promise we're gonna round up.
we do an hour. This is a juicy topic. I keep trying to click it, it's not showing. Just be said, please drop the low effort phrase. No, when people stop being low effort, we'll drop it. But trust me, there's a reason I'm saying it. The effort is low, is the lowest effort. Nah. Dating is supposed to be enjoyable and easy. How do we get here in 2023? Oh, who wants to answer that question? Only God knows. We bringing it back to, I think, people dating too many people. I think that is a big factor. Like it's just like it becomes almost like a game. Like you're not intentional. You're just meeting. So, oh, click. Oh, let's meet up. Coffee date. You're going to call it meet up or whatever you're calling it. It's just like people are just going through. Like it's almost like it's like a competition. How many people I can talk to in like 1 month? Like no, like it's dating. It doesn't need to be this difficult. As women, we hold the power, and men know this. I think we should campaign to free the shackles of the brainwashing across the nations.
The
No, it's
only
only,
way it's gonna work if all women unite.
and
If
it's
we
not
don't
across the
all unite,
nations. It's across America and the Western world because despite what people want to say, other is specific to the Western world, specifically America. The culture is different here. Women work, women have more rights, blah 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 blah. It, a lot of men don't they how do I phrase this with still trying to be a little politically correct? Because people get very defensive, but I do think that it's specific to this part of the world. We've had these conversations where men are very they don't get it because the same men who will complain and say certain things, you go to other countries, and this is a normal. Like a man is not expecting a girl's time without putting out money. They're just not. I told you about the story in Nigeria that the girls spread. The girls are giving, this stuff is going viral on social media. Girls are giving men lists. They have to get their hair done. They have to buy them a new outfit. They have to pay for their Uber. Imagine in America if we move like that, we would be on every blog in the world. They'll be ripping women if women started moving like that. You got to buy my dress for the date. They don't even want to pay for the dates. But I'm saying that because in other countries the standard is different, right? Because the mentality and the value of women is different. Of course, people argue the opportunities women have, blah blah blah, whatever. But I feel like it's a very specific, it's a very American problem. Like I don't feel like it's not global. It's specific to America and like developed countries per se.
America makes men look good.
Right,
Evie said
for
it's still
sure.
enjoyable. We'll kind of sort of just weed out the ones here to waste your time. Yeah, you gotta have the positive mindset too. My effort to the relationship is proportional to the amount of time and effort a woman feel like cooperating with me. The more she follows my leadership, the more I'll provide. Okay. I agree that yes, in this generation are just low effort in their philosophy. Haven said, right, low effort in their ambition, low effort in their careers, etc., etc. Just be, I disagree. That's lust, not love. Spending time with someone make you love somebody and get to know them. Okay, Petra, 999 super sticker. Thank you. Thank you so much. Jared said 100. Haven said exactly. Get to know the person first. Can we get some worst date stories? I need to laugh. Oh, before I'm gonna round up the worst date story in my life that I had this year. Okay. Us not knowing each other more is more incentive for him to pay if he wants your time. He didn't pay with rapport yet because we just met. The only currency of appreciation is money. At that, real African girl. Agree. Yes, Haven. LOL. No, 30 minutes an hour max. And you talk about a meetup or because 30 minutes an hour, that's very short. I think people should just relax into dating and get out of their heads. Nobody want to show that they like someone anymore, and that's lame, right? I think that's also this lack of vulnerability these days, and no one wants to get played, men or women. Women have their guard up, men have their guard up. So that's also a factor that's making this dating hard. But okay, to round this up quickly, worst date scenario. Hey, I'm gonna make you laugh real quick. So this alludes to basically everything we've been talking about is gonna round up this live. The issue I have with some, again, we don't generalize, some modern men, they see a woman, they see the way she carries herself, they see how she's put together, They see the things that she does for fun. They go on her
The
Instagram
things she does for herself.
herself, and they see that and they act like they're okay with it. But as soon as they get to know you, they kind of want to tell you that you shouldn't do this.
Didn't
You
I
should.
allude to it earlier in the live about telling people that they shouldn't want what they want?
I'm pretty modest compared to these girls out there. Okay, I'm pretty modest. You know, I'm a bud. I try to budget. I try to spend within my means, below my means. But the reality is that to some people, what I consider modest is luxury. That's the truth. Everyone's level in
It's
life
relative.
right? Because I'm looking at people, I follow Jackie Ina's lavishly luxury page, right? Or I'm looking at girls who are wearing Chanel and, I have friends who like have designer cars, you know what I mean? So like for me, I look at that as luxury, right? Because that's above what I'm doing, but again, everything's relative. So this guy is trying to talk to me for months. I was like, no, I don't think we're in the same page in life. I don't think we want the same things. Like, I just could tell that by his demeanor, like the way he carries himself, that he's not.
I heard him on speakerphone cursing every other second.
Yeah, like he's very rough, very hood. Like I'm gonna be real. That's not my type. That's not my type. You get what I'm saying? I barely even curse. Like, right? So I'm trying to explain to this guy that I don't think we're on the same page in life. I don't think we have the same values. It's not gonna work. Begging me. And I wore this dress that dates when I saw, it's a cute little body count. Y'all can't really see it. So like, no, what's the big deal? Just give him a chance, right? Let me be open-minded. The first day we go out, it was supposed to be Ruth Chris. Ruth Chris was closed. So we went to this other place in Uptown called Mariposa. For my Charlotte people who've been to Mariposa is a cute spot. It's international. It's really like aesthetically pleasing. And I feel like it's cool. I've been there a couple of times. We went there, it was cool. You can already tell he was like, oh, wow, I've never been here. Like, oh, this is fancy, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I like this. But mind you, it was reasonable. Like our meal was like $50 for both of us. Again, I'm a pretty cheap date. I don't drink alcohol. And, I don't be out there ordering 10 appetizers. I'm trying to, date etiquette. So that's the first thing. After that, I told him, like, you know what? I appreciate everything you did, but I don't think this is going to work. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we're on the same page. I just still don't get that sense that like we're looking for the same things. Like, he's like, no, why are you saying that? Please, I want to go out again. Begging me. So I was out in this area that he lives around. I was in university at my book club. So after we had met, we agreed that we're going to meet up after that. So for all your Charlotte people, again, if y'all Charlotte people, let me know in the comment section. I was like, okay, do you want to go to Fume? I was like, or we can go to Stats. For anyone that lives in Charlotte, Stats is like a Black-owned, very popular sports bar. It's not a fancy place, but it's cool. Like I'm pretty flexible. I'm not the girl that could only go to Mariposa with Chris. Like I'm pretty flexible, but just let me know so I know how to dress, right? Because how I'm probably gonna dress up to go to Steak 48 is gonna be different to just go to a bar, right? He's like, oh no, that's fine. So we get there. He just starts acting weird. First off, to get in, he had like a jersey and shorts on, and they told him he has to change. He has to run home and change. I said, are you sure you want to run home and change? You could just go somewhere else. Like, no, I'm good. We get that he's acting weird. He's not talking. He's like, some of these fancy places, they just upcharge on drinks. They just water down their drinks. So I'm like, okay. I was like, at this point, I asked him, like, do you want to leave? Like, do you want us to go somewhere else? Because we don't have to stay here. I made it very clear. Oh no, I'm good. He's on his phone. Mind you, he trying to knock the place, but he's showing everyone on Snapchat that he at Fume, right? He want to be fancy, right? Mind you, Fume is like a cute little upscale, like lounge / hookah place with small plates in the university area of Charlotte. Nothing crazy. My meal was $30. So again, he's being weird. We're not really talking. Food comes out, whatever. Okay, now time to pay the bill. So me, I guess I did what Tony Askins talked about, right? So the bill comes out, he goes on his phone. So I'm like, oh, okay. Like we're doing it like that. So I just brought up my cards, like, whatever. I don't even care at this point. I just want to get out of here. And he watches me hand over my card and pay for my food. So so at this point, I was just so annoyed. Like, I just want to get out of here. Like, this is what happens when you try to lower your standards. This is what happens when you try to be too open-minded. This is what happens when you try to give
close that mind. You better close that mind.
A chance. You begged me to come out. I made it clear that we're not looking for the same things. I made it clear, and you're like forcing it. You're so into me. You like me so much. You've seen the way I put myself together. You follow me on Instagram. You see the things I like to do. You already know that. So why now is it a problem? Mind you, my food was $30. I didn't take you to a steakhouse and $150 and look at you to pay. my meal was $33. I just paid, and I left. And after he said, "Oh, what's?" And after I went off for him, I was like, you know what? This is not gonna work. I was like, I don't really don't care. It's just $30, but the way you handle the situation is really just like this. It's like gross to me. Like like even if you have an issue, communicate that. He's texting me the next day apologizing, didn't reply, not keep my red receipt on. Very triggering to most men. Calls me the next week, I didn't answer. FaceTime me 2 weeks later, I didn't answer. And then, and I'm just like, I'm just like, it was funny. I ran home and I called my male friend. We just laughing about it. He said, no, let me send you the $33 now. Let me send it to you. Like, we were just laughing. Like, it's just like almost, and also too, to put into it, I don't want to shake tables. He was African American. And like I've mentioned before many times in this live, I don't really have a lot of experience dating African American men, and the few experiences I've had, they've been kind of, not good. Left a bad taste in my mouth, right? So this just goes to sum it up, that a guy not wanting to spend money or not wanting to put out doesn't make him a great guy. And a guy that spends money doesn't make him a bad guy. I think that comes down to, like Ngozi talks about, getting to know each other. I had no business even going on the first date, talk about the second date. The first one, maybe I gave it a chance and I said, oh yeah, let me just stop being stubborn. But the second date, I was so reluctant, I didn't want to do it. And I still gave him a chance. I'm like, no, just be open-minded. So sometimes you don't always need to be open-minded. You know that this person is not for you. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy. Don't waste your resources. Like, that's definitely my worst dating experience. I've never had to do that before. And for it to happen when I was older, it's like, wow, like, interesting. Like, okay, why did this happen? What, just trying to like, now I laughed about it. Even after I just laughed about it, I was just pretty annoyed because I'm like, this guy is not serious. And then after I bumped into him, and he's like trying to, oh, you treat me like a stepchild. How do you want me to treat you? How do you want me to treat you? Like, literally, you couldn't pay for $37. You watch me pay.
You got $33. You didn't go there and order. You said the thing. We need to be having topics of these videos. You saw the girl that ordered mad like oysters and all the food. The guy went to the bathroom and left her at the restaurant. It was like in Atlanta, I think. This stuff had been going viral this October month. But it's not like you went out and you ordered $300 worth of food and he didn't order nothing. Even that one, if you go out to eat, don't come out to eat and don't eat. Okay, if we're going out to eat, I don't care.
Two men do that to me.
I don't care if you're not hungry. Order a salad, order bread, eat bread, order tea, order a dessert. Don't come out and make me feel like I'm here eating. You just sitting here looking at me like I'm like you don't want to be here. Like
he did not order anything, so I think that's what makes him feel more comfortable that he didn't have to pay, because he didn't order a drink. He didn't order. There's no way if he would have ordered something, I would have told him to split the bill like Tony Gaskins. He would have paid for it. There's no way I would have paid for stuff. But I just ate, so I'm okay. Let me just pay for my stuff. It's not a big deal. He didn't order anything.
Everything. That's why I kept bringing up. I kept bringing up capacity. Capacity is not. It's not about, like I said, capacity don't even necessarily mean what you're making. But like I said, some people, I don't know. Like you mentioned, you didn't spend a lot. So was his idea that he wasn't comfortable there, so he felt like he didn't need to pay for it?
His dad, I don't know, because I don't care to know. But what I think it was, he felt a way that they made him go home and change because he was wearing like, or they told him he can come in, he has to pay like $20 extra. And I think he felt a way about going home and change, but I made it clear to him that we can just go to Stats. We can just go somewhere else. Like, you don't have to change. Like, let's just go somewhere else. And then he was like, let me drive your car and you can stop by at my place. I'm like, no, I'm not coming with you to watch you change. That's ridiculous. I don't know you. So I don't know if that kind of got him upset, because I was like,
there's a bunch of things that's put him in a mood.
Yeah, let's put him in a mood, and like, no, yeah. And that's like a red flag, because a man that can't communicate is not my man. A man that can't communicate how he feels or what he needs.
I think honestly, that's like the number one skill, communication. Like, a lot of men think when I hear men go on these podcasts and talk about women being so unrealistic, they don't understand. It's because they're not doing the right thing, because they're lacking in these other areas. That money is the easy thing. It's a thing that's easily quantifiable. You have it or you don't. But the communication is so important. If you ask him, you don't want to be, y'all didn't have to stay there. Y'all didn't have to go out. After, he didn't have to go home and it's doing too much. Why is he going home to change? Come back
I feel like I'm too understanding, and my cousins and Guzzy they can vouch for me. Sometimes I feel like I'm too understanding. Where does it get me? It still doesn't get me what I want, and I feel like I need to be more like these girls on Instagram acting crazy, because like when you start acting too understanding, I feel like you could get taken for granted.
Well, that's another topic. Do men really like nice women? Because that's another viral one that will go viral. But we talk about that. We don't have time. We're already an hour 40. Let me go through these topics real quick. Or we said, I mean, these comments. One thing I would say though, no woman should feel as if she owes man anything if he gives her with a free meal. Yes, she shouldn't, but it would shock you. I'm so sorry I had to go through that. Nana foolishness pro max. Complaining about the price is crazy. Turn off. Nana has seen things. No be small thing. Men will not have a pot to piss in, but I will have audacity. Petra's laughing. She said, "Close your mind." I said it. Close your mind. This opening mind. Where has it gotten you? I agree. Don't lower those standards again. He was looking for a free meal from you. An evil spirit told you to be open minded. Follow your instinct. Don't waste your time. I just said, Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. Why is that letting me hit it? Jesus is Lord. What?
Oh, not eating is weird though. What's the point of coming? In that case, y'all could have did a coffee date.
Jesus is Lord. Oh, not eating is, yeah. What's the point? Like, Mia, for me, that's why I picked the restaurants I always want to go and never been. So if he don't pay for me, I'm not tripping because I wanted to go anyways, and I got my own just in case. That makes sense. He was watching Kendra's dating show. A guy was on house arrest, fresh out of jail, looking for an Instagram by any delusion. And no, when they're quick to call the women delusional. They love it. They eat that term up on social media when it comes to women, particularly black women. But a lot of men will not also admit they're very delusional with the expectations and what they want, the type of women they're going for. Let's be real. I know we're all God's children, but men and women, we have to stay in our lane and understand, like it's not nothing wrong. It's not about saying no one is not better or someone don't deserve this. But if you're coming at someone and you know the lifestyle that they're living, be ready to keep up. Like, don't try and dumb them down. And I feel like that's the point I made earlier. Like, I don't believe in that. I'm not going to meet a guy right now who's into designs, like, oh, you're so materialistic. Why do you designers? He like designers. If I'm not, if that's a value thing that I'm not into it and he's into it, then I'm not going to date that guy if that's that important to me. But I'm not going to meet him and say, oh, you always got a chain on. Why are you driving a big car, Hellcat, SRTs? You know what I mean? You all up into these big
As long as you can afford it. Don't be
going into debt and
right.
By all means. But if I'm really not aligned with that, I'm talking to my guy friend the other day. Where I'm at in my life, I think people need to understand. You meet people, for the most part, take people as they are. It's not your job to change. We're grown adults. It's not your job to change people or make them into the little perfect caricature you want. No, these are human beings we're talking about. These are not dogs. These are not animals. These are humans. Let people be who they. Accept people for who they are, and if it's not okay with you, walk away. It is what it is. But y'all, we've done an hour and 41 minutes. Make sure you guys like this video. I'm getting a hunger headache. We talk about food this whole time. Oh, I gotta make dinner. I haven't eaten yet. I'm gonna
You haven't made dinner?
I'm for the gym. I have my smoothie. When am I eat at 5 p.m. and then be hungry again by 8 p.m.? No, I haven't eaten dinner yet. But thank you all so much for joining. We appreciate all the super chats. Make sure you like this video. We all got but the Bible said Leah had a lazy.
We all got children, but the Bible said Leah had a lazy eye. It's okay to notice visual differences.
Oh my God, you're evil. You're evil.
Another $2. Thank you so much.
We appreciate the support.
Do women ever like nice men? Maybe next Monday will be do good women finish last.
Oh God. If we do that one, we'll be here 3 hours. But I'm telling you, like, it's both ways, right? Do nice men and nice women. And I think it's also what we use to describe people as being nice is also the issue. But we're going to get to that. But people are talking about the show. Yes, stop trying to change people. Take them as they are. Guy in house arrest. Yeah, men in house America, they're saying women are so unreasonable, but men in jail. Do you know there's a site where women go to meet men in jail in America? Men are in jail. Women are lined up to visit them. But they'll come and spin that American women are so difficult. They're so unreasonable. They're so this and that. That's a topic for another day. But y'all, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was fun. An hour, 45 minutes. Thanks, Haven, again. Oh, y'all being real generous tonight. Anybody else? Super chat. An hour, 43 minutes. Is it easy? Oh my gosh. Like, it's not easy. This is hard work. It's not easy to be a creator. Like, oh my God. Like, my plantain is waiting for me. My dinner is waiting for me. Like, but thank you guys so much. This was really, really fun. Great topic. I hope you all got the lesson. Yeah, some people don't like low effort, but some people are low effort, and it's not about just money. It's about effort, the physical effort, the mental effort, planning, putting in the work, being intentional. It's not about just going to spend a lot of money. It's deeper than that when we talk about low effort. But thank you all so much for you guys. See you next Monday. I may not be able to be live. Probably be next Tuesday, but you guys we'll let you guys know in the post. Make sure you guys are subscribed. You have the bell notifications on because sometimes we do Monday or Tuesday sometimes if we're not available Monday. So make sure you have your notifications because we try and set it up within 24 hours. So if you don't see it on Monday, most likely it will be Tuesday. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
And bye. Okay, Haven, Tuesday works better for you?
Yeah,
All right.
she put in the comments if we're gonna be going live on Tuesdays, and I guess we'll do a poll tomorrow to get everyone if they prefer Monday, because Mondays can be rough, especially still recovering from the weekend.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe we should change it to Tuesday, so that way there's no
And
excuses.
Tuesday's a dead day, so it's not like there's anything else to do. Tuesday literally is a day like I never leave my apartment on a Tuesday. Like I can count the days I've left my apartment on a Tuesday. Like nothing happens on Tuesdays, even in this Houston. So I mean Taco Tuesdays. But other than that,
I mean,
all right.
Tuesday is Mad Miles, but I haven't been like in 6 weeks. That's the only reason why sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to keep Tuesday free because I want to go to Mad Miles on Tuesdays, but we'll see.
Mia's gonna be coming to Charlotte, so yep, letting Nana know. And yes, Monday we're still recovering. We'll see you all soon. Bye, y'all.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.